everything's about data now. Everything in an organisation works from the foundation of the data and the business tools and systems that people use, and therefore the role of compliance in itself, and particularly in the finance sector, is effectively to meet and help the company manage the risks that they have around regulation and meeting their regulatory compliance needs specifically. But that's very much akin to the process of investigating lots of data. Could be very much akin to, an internal HR investigation where there's been perhaps abuse, staffing issues and bullying or things like that. So, really all you're looking for is events that have happened in a timeline by searching lots of data and lots of communication tools or products that are generally the source of the evidence of things these days. And we all see that type of thing out in the real world, and with social media and all these types of things. There's so many things that happen that would require some form of investigation. The same challenges would apply with respect to normalising data and understanding that is all of data around that specific requirement. And you're not actually, do you know if you're missing anything? Do you have it all? Do you have all the evidence in place to be able to apply whatever business rules you need to do to do that? Another similar type of investigation that's become more prevalent in the last few years is GDPR, subject access requests. That's become in certain types of organisations, especially a new sub-organisational team or department that's had to be generated just to respond to subject access requests, and that's a particularly hot one really these days. And it's relatively new. It's a little bit like what was happening in compliance several years ago, where people evolved, and I think to a certain extent, because of how compliance has evolved, it hasn't just been dumped on IT as it did before. So I think IT probably generally have got out of got a bit lucky when it comes to having to deal with that. Certainly in this medium to large organisations. But yeah, subject access request process is very much akin to a regulatory compliance investigation process, and much more prevalent nowadays, becoming much more prevalent nowadays. I would imagine, I don't know the stats on this, but I'd imagine there's an awful lot more subject access requests flying around the world than there are regulatory investigation requests. By a huge amount, I'm sure. And that's becoming a massive, massive problem for lots of organisations. We spent a lot of time looking at how we could adapt our, case management or e-discovery or investigation engine in the Soteria platform to evolve it into a tool that can be applied to subject access requests as well.